When we reach the age of 60 and beyond, many believe decline is natural, inevitable, and something we must quietly accept. But this is not the teaching of life. Life teaches us that as long as breath flows within the body, transformation is possible. The body is like a garden. It will grow what you nurture. If you feed it neglect, weakness will come. If you feed it awareness and nourishment, strength will remain. Today, I invite you to look deeper, not at age as a number, but at vitality as a practice. There is a way to slow down the loss of muscle, to restore energy, and to awaken the body's inner strength. And it begins, surprisingly, with something as simple as what you place on your breakfast table. When you walk through the forest and see a tree that has stood tall for 60 years, what do you notice? Perhaps its bark is rougher, its branches no longer as straight, maybe some parts are fragile. Yet it still stands, deeply rooted in the earth. This is how we must view our own bodies as the years pass. Time will always leave its mark. The skin changes, the joints move differently, and the muscles, if not cared for, begin to slowly disappear. This is not a failure. It is simply the way nature works. But to see it clearly, without fear or denial, is the first step toward change. Muscle loss, what science calls sarcopenia, begins silently. It does not announce itself in a single day. You do not wake up one morning and find that half your strength is gone. Instead, it is subtle. The stairs feel a little steeper, the grocery bags feel a little heavier. Rising from a chair takes a little more effort. These are whispers from the body. If we ignore them, they grow louder. If we listen, we can act early. Awareness means to look without judgment. In meditation, we learn to watch the breath, not to control it, but to notice it. The same applies to aging and to muscle loss. If you can observe it without panic, without frustration, then you gain power. Because when you see a challenge clearly, you no longer fight against shadows. You meet reality as it is, and only then can you transform it. At 60 and beyond, many people carry the belief that weakness is normal, that it cannot be changed. They think this is just old age. But remember, belief is powerful. If you carry a belief of decline, your body will follow. If you carry a belief of growth, your body will respond differently. Awareness is not simply knowing what happens. It is also about knowing that something can be done. Think of water flowing over a stone. Slowly, drop by drop, it shapes the rock. Muscle loss works in the same way. Every year, a little more strength is lost, but if you put another stream of water, stronger, more directed, you can change the flow. Nutrition, movement, and mindful living become that second stream. With awareness, you no longer let the first stream erode you unnoticed. Instead, you build a new direction for your body's energy. Many elders say, "I am tired, I don't have the same motivation." But this is why awareness matters. When you see that tiredness is not weakness, but simply unused energy, then a small spark of discipline can reignite it. Awareness opens the door to responsibility. If I know that each day I lose muscle by neglect, then I also know that each day I can preserve it with care. Let me share an image. Imagine you have a candle in your hand. At first the flame is bright, strong. It illuminates everything around you. With time, if you protect it poorly, the wind may come and the flame grows weak. If you believe nothing can be done, you watch it die. But if you shield it with your hands, if you place it where the wind cannot reach, the flame continues to burn, sometimes even brighter in the dark. Your muscles, your vitality are this flame. You must choose whether to shield it or to let it fade. Awareness also means acceptance. Acceptance does not mean surrender. It means seeing what is true now. At 60, the body is not the same as at 20. This is reality. But the mistake is thinking that because you cannot be 20 again, you cannot be strong again. Acceptance means I am 60. I know muscle loss is here, and I also know I can still act. This is where freedom lies. When we train in Shaolin practice, the first lesson is not a punch or a kick. It is standing still, learning to feel the body, to be present. Why? Because if you do not know yourself, you cannot control your movements. In the same way, if you do not acknowledge muscle loss, you cannot prevent it. You cannot strengthen what you pretend does not exist. Awareness brings gratitude as well. To realize you are still here, breathing, walking, able to take action. That is a gift. There are many who never reach 60. So the question is not, why am I losing muscle? The question is, what can I do with the time I have, with the body I have right now? Awareness shifts your focus from complaint to possibility. In Chinese philosophy, we say where the mind goes, the qi follows. If your mind is stuck in the past, wishing for the body of use, your energy drains. But if your mind is here, aware of what is, your energy gathers in the present. Then you can direct it toward practices that preserve your strengths. So what should you do with this awareness? Begin with observation. Notice how your body feels when you wake up. Notice how you sit, how you rise, how you walk. Keep a gentle curiosity, not to judge, but to learn. If you feel weakness, let it be a reminder. This is where I must bring care. If you feel strength, let it be a reminder. This is where I must give gratitude. The path of awareness is endless. Each day is a chance to see deeper. Each day is a chance to adjust. A tree that bends in the wind does not break. In the same way, when you adjust with awareness, you remain unbroken by time. So remember, awareness of muscle loss is not a sentence of decline. It is an invitation to take responsibility, to act with wisdom, and to preserve the flame within you. Aging is not the enemy. An awareness is, when you awaken to the truth, you no longer fear what comes. You prepare, you adapt, and you continue to stand tall, just like that tree in the forest, rooted in strength, carrying the wisdom of years, yet still alive, still growing. When we think about food, many of us think about taste, about comfort, about tradition. We remember the meals shared with family, the flavors that remind us of childhood, the dishes that bring warmth to the heart. But very often we forget the deeper truth. Food is not only culture, not only pleasure, it is also medicine. It is the foundation upon which the body builds itself every single day. Every cell in your body, every strand of muscle, every thought in your brain is shaped by what you choose to place on your plate. At 60 and beyond, this truth becomes even more important. In youth, the body is forgiving. It accepts mistakes. You can eat poorly, skip meals, live with little awareness, and still recover. But with age, the body becomes less forgiving. It asks for more care, more precision, more wisdom. This is not a punishment. It is an invitation to live with greater awareness. When you understand this, food stops being just fuel and becomes a practice, a daily meditation of self-respect. Nutrition is like language. Every time you eat, you are speaking to your body. The question is, what are you saying? If you eat food that is heavy with sugar, processed with chemicals, stripped of life, you are telling your body, I give you burden, I give you confusion. The body responds with fatigue, inflammation, weakness. If you eat food that is rich with natural protein, full of vitamins, fresh and alive, you are telling your body, I give you strength, I give you clarity. The body responds with energy, resilience, and renewal. In Shaolin teaching, we often say, train the body, train the mind, train the breath. But all three are supported by what you consume. Food influences the body. Yes, but also the mind and the breath. Have you noticed how after a heavy, unhealthy meal, the mind feels dull, unfocused? Or how after a clean, nourishing meal, you feel light, awake, present? This is the silent power of nutrition. It shapes not only your physical strength, but also your awareness and spirit. For seniors, especially, nutrition becomes the key to preserving muscle. Muscle is not just built in the gym, it is built at the table. Proteins, amino acids, minerals, all of these are the raw materials your muscles require. Without them, even if you move, even if you exercise, the body cannot rebuild. It is like trying to repair a wall without bricks. You may have the intention, but without materials, the wall remains broken. In the same way, without the right food, your body cannot repair or grow stronger. There is a common belief that eating less is always healthier. Many seniors reduce their food intake out of fear of weight gain, fear of illness, but balance is the key. To eat too much is harmful, yes, but to eat too little, especially of proteins and nutrients, is also harmful. The body needs enough fuel to protect muscle and energy. Eating with wisdom means finding this middle path. Not too much, not too little, but exactly what the body requires. Think of your breakfast. For many, breakfast becomes a ritual of tea, coffee, maybe bread, maybe something sweet. But ask yourself, does this give your body what it truly needs? At 60 and beyond, the morning is not just the start of your day. It is the foundation for how your body will function for the next hours. If you begin with weak fuel, the day continues with weakness. If you begin with strong, nourishing fuel, the day continues with strength. One powerful food chosen wisely can transform not just your breakfast, but your whole rhythm of living. Nutrition is also about consistency. Eating well for one day does not transform the body, just as meditating once does not bring enlightenment. It is the daily practice, the daily devotion that creates change. Imagine planting a seed. If you water it only once, it will never grow, but if you water it each day, with patience, the seed becomes a tree. In the same way, if you give your body the right food each day, patiently, consistently, your muscles remain, your strength continues, your vitality grows. There is another aspect, respect. When you choose what to eat, ask yourself, am I respecting my body with this choice? To respect the body is to honor the life within you. At 60, 70, 80, you carry decades of experiences, memories, wisdom. All of this is carried by your body. Does it not deserve the best care? Food is a form of respect. To eat carelessly is to treat the body as unworthy. To eat mindfully is to treat the body as sacred. In Zen practice, even eating is meditation. We chew slowly, we taste fully, we give thanks. This is not only spiritual, it is also practical. When you eat slowly, your body digests better. When you eat with gratitude, stress reduces and the body absorbs nutrients more efficiently. So nutrition is not just about what you eat, but also how you eat. The right food, eaten in the right state of mind, becomes medicine. The right food, eaten in stress or distraction, loses half its power. At this stage of life, let nutrition be your ally, not your enemy. You do not need to chase complicated diets, extreme restrictions, or the newest trends. Simplicity is enough. Natural food rich in proteins, balanced with vegetables, fruits, and whole grains. Clean water. Minimal processed sugars. This is the way. What matters is not fashion, but consistency. The role of nutrition is to remind us that aging is not about losing, it is about choosing. Choosing wisely, choosing with awareness. With every meal, you have the chance to feed decline or to feed vitality. Each spoon, each bite is a choice between weakness and strength. And when you choose with care, the body responds even at 60, even at 70. So, let food no longer be just flavor or habit. Let it be intention. Let it be medicine. Let it be respect. Because in the end, the body you live in tomorrow is built from the food you eat today. And when you eat with wisdom, your body will not only survive age, it will thrive in it. When you wake in the morning, your body is like a river that has rested through the night. The flow has slowed, the energy is quiet, the muscles are waiting for direction. What you choose in those first hours is like opening the gates of that river. Will the water flow strong and clear, or will it trickle weak and muddy? The first food you place into your body decides this. It sets the tone not only for your day, but also for your health over time. Many elders overlook the power of breakfast. Some skip it entirely, believing less food is better. Others fill it with bread, pastries, sugar, or only tea and coffee. These habits may feel comforting, but they are not the foundation the body needs, especially when you are over 60. At this stage, the muscles require fuel immediately in the morning. If they are left empty, the body begins to consume itself, taking protein from the muscles to survive. Over time, this quiet theft of strength leads to weakness. But there is another path. By adding just one powerful food to your breakfast, you give the body a signal. Protect the muscles, build the strength, preserve the energy. What is this food? It is protein, not complicated, not exotic, simply protein in a form your body can easily absorb. It could be an egg, Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, a handful of nuts, or a plant-based option like lentils or tofu. The exact form is not as important as the principle. Begin your day with a clear message of strength. Why protein? Because protein is the language of muscle. Just as a builder cannot construct a house without bricks, your body cannot build or repair muscles without protein. Carbohydrates give energy, fats give endurance, but protein is the structure. After 60, when the body naturally loses muscle each year, the importance of protein becomes even greater. Without it, your exercises are incomplete, your efforts wasted. With it, even simple movements become powerful, because the body has the material to grow stronger. Think of the difference between starting your morning with only a slice of bread compared to starting with an egg and vegetables. The bread gives a quick spike of energy, but it fades fast, leaving you tired and craving more. The egg, rich in protein, sustains you, repairs your muscles, and balances your energy. One choice leaves you empty, the other fills you with resilience. The difference seems small, but repeated every morning, it creates two completely different futures. The practice here is not about eating more, but about eating smarter. The senior who begins the day with protein is not just feeding hunger, they are protecting their body against decline. This one addition at breakfast becomes like a shield, defending your muscles from erosion. Over weeks and months, this simple act builds a stronger foundation for walking, for climbing stairs, for living with independence. Some may ask, can one food really make such a difference? The answer is yes, because small actions repeated daily create transformation. A drop of water may seem powerless, but repeated endlessly, it carves valleys into stone. In the same way, a single food eaten every morning with intention slowly carves strength into your life. But remember, it is not only the food itself, it is also the awareness with which you take it. When you prepare your breakfast, do it with care. Notice the food. Give thanks for it. Eat it slowly. Let your body register the nourishment. In Shaolin tradition, every act can become meditation, even the act of eating. When you eat mindfully, you do not just swallow food, you receive it fully. And when you receive it fully, its benefits multiply. There's also discipline here. It is easy to say, tomorrow I will start, next week I will change. But awareness without action is like a lamp without oil. The flame cannot burn. If you understand the importance of protein at breakfast, then begin today. Choose one food. Place it on your table. Eat it with gratitude and repeat tomorrow and the next day and the next. Discipline turns knowledge into transformation. You may also notice how this small change, influences other areas of life. With more strength in the morning, you walk a little further. You carry groceries with less struggle. You join family activities with more energy. These moments of independence and joy are not random. They are the result of your choice at breakfast. It is a reminder that nothing in life is small. Each action, each choice has consequences far beyond the moment. When you are over 60, the world often tells you to slow down, to accept weakness, to retreat. But the act of adding one powerful food to your breakfast is an act of defiance. It is a declaration: I still choose strength. I still choose vitality. I still choose life. And this choice ripples through your days, through your years, creating a different path from those who surrender. In nature, the bamboo is thin, but it is also strong. Why? Because it nourishes itself in the right way. Its roots are deep, its structure flexible, its growth steady. You too can be like bamboo, light in spirit, strong in body, resilient in age. And it begins with how you nourish yourself. So remember, the powerful breakfast edition is not just about food, it is about intention. It is about respect. It is about sending your body a clear message every morning. You are worth protecting. You are worth strengthening. With that one act, you honor your muscles, you honor your health, and you honor the life that still flows strongly within you. In the end, breakfast is not only the start of the day, it is the start of your strength, the start of your independence, the start of your longevity. By choosing wisely in those first moments, you build a foundation that supports every step, every breath, every movement that follows. One food, one choice, one practice. This is enough to change the path of your life. Imagine a seed placed in the soil. Even if the soil is rich with minerals, even if the rain comes and the sun shines, the seed will not grow if it never opens, if it never moves beyond its shell. In the same way, no matter how nourishing your food is, it cannot fulfill its purpose if you do not move. Nutrition provides the material, but movement awakens it, directs it, and turns it into living strengths. The two are not separate. They are partners like yin and yang, one incomplete without the other. At 60 and beyond, the body often whispers, rest, sit down, move less. The joints may ache, the back may stiffen, the muscles may feel tired. And so many elders begin to withdraw from physical activity, believing rest will protect them. But the truth is opposite. Stillness without purpose is not rest, it is decline. Movement, even gentle, is the medicine that keeps the body alive, the blood circulating, the muscles responding, the spirit awake. This does not mean extreme exercise nor lifting heavy weights like an athlete. It means simple, mindful movement that suits your body. Walking with intention, stretching with awareness, practicing balance, breathing deeply while lifting your arms toward the sky. These small acts awaken the energy that food provides. They tell the body, use this nutrition, build with it, grow from it. Without movement, even the best food remains stored, unused, slowly turning into weight instead of strength. Think of a river. If it flows, it stays clean, fresh, alive. If it becomes stagnant, it grows cloudy, heavy, lifeless. The body is this river. Movement is the flow that keeps it clear. When you eat protein, when you nourish yourself, movement is the current that carries those nutrients into your muscles, into your bones, into your very life. One without the other is incomplete. Together they create harmony. In Shaolin practice, we often begin the day with simple exercises, stretching, breathing, moving the joints. This is not to become stronger than others, not to show skill, but simply to keep the body alive and connected. The body is like an instrument. If you leave it unused, the strings loosen, the sound becomes dull. If you tune it each day, it sings clearly. Movement is this tuning. It keeps the body ready to express life fully. Some people say, I am too old for exercise. But is the tree too old to sway in the wind? Is the river too old to flow? As long as there is life, there can be movement. The question is not whether you can move, but how. Find what your body allows and do it with consistency. If you can walk, walk a little each day. If you can stretch, stretch gently. If you can breathe deeply while raising your arms, then begin there. Each small practice, when done daily, is enough to keep the fire of vitality burning. It is also important to understand balance. Too much movement without nutrition weakens the body. Too much nutrition without movement makes the body heavy. Balance is the middle path. A modest breakfast of protein followed by a walk, a nourishing lunch followed by a few stretches, gentle evening movement followed by light food. This rhythm allows the body to harmonize, to use what it receives and to strengthen what it uses. Movement is also medicine for the mind. When you move, your breath deepens, your blood flows, your spirit lifts. Many seniors feel trapped in thoughts of decline, worrying about age, fearing the future. But when you walk outside, when you stretch under the morning sun, these thoughts lose their grip. The body and mind are not separate. When the body flows, the mind also becomes clear. In meditation, we say stillness is movement, and movement is stillness. This means that true movement is not restless, not hurried. It is mindful, connected, calm. When you walk, feel each step. When you stretch, feel each breath. When you lift your arms, feel the strength in your muscles. This awareness turns movement into a spiritual practice, not just a physical one. And when nutrition and mindful movement meet, they do not only preserve your body, they nourish your soul. Let me share an image. Imagine you are holding a bowl of water. If you keep it completely still, the water becomes dusty. Insects may land on it. It loses its freshness. But if you swirl the bowl gently, the water stays clear. Your body is this bowl. Nutrition fills it. Movement stirs it, keeping it alive. Without stirring, the water is wasted. With stirring, it becomes a source of life. There's also joy in movement. Many elders forget this. They think of exercise as duty, as burden. But remember the joy of a child running freely, the joy of stretching under the open sky, the joy of moving to music. These joys do not disappear with age. They only need to be rediscovered. Movement is not punishment. It is freedom. Each step is a reminder that you are still alive, still capable, still part of the rhythm of life. So, integrate movement with your nutrition. Do not see them as separate practices. See them as two parts of one whole. When you eat, ask, how will I move with this energy? When you move, ask, how have I nourished this movement? In this way, your life becomes a circle of harmony, food supporting movement, movement using food, both sustaining vitality. At 60, 70, 80, it is not about proving strength to others. It is about keeping independence, dignity, and joy, to rise from a chair without struggle, to carry your groceries, to walk with confidence. These are the quiet victories of integrating nutrition with movement. They may seem small, but they are the foundations of freedom in later life. So remember, food alone cannot save you, and movement alone cannot sustain you, but together they create balance. Together they preserve your strength. Together they allow you to age not with fear, but with vitality. Each meal, each step is a chance to renew this balance. Choose to nourish. Choose to move. Choose to live in harmony. Longevity is often misunderstood. Many think it is only about counting years, about adding more time to life. But true longevity is not measured in numbers. It is measured in quality. How fully you live each moment, how freely you move, how peacefully you rest, how joyfully you connect with others. A long life without vitality is not the path. The path of longevity is to carry strength, clarity and balance deep into your later years, so that each day is not just survival but a continuation of living with purpose. When we look at nature, longevity is everywhere. The mountain stands for thousands of years. The river flows endlessly. The tree grows season after season. But notice, none of them resist time. The mountain does not complain about the wind that erodes it. The river does not fight against the stones. It must pass. The tree does not deny its falling leaves. They endure by harmonizing with change. This is the lesson for us. True longevity comes not from resisting age, but from accepting it with wisdom and adapting with awareness. After 60, the body speaks in new ways. It may no longer be as quick as in youth. It may ask for more rest, more care, more patience. Many feel fear in this. But longevity is not about forcing the body to be young again. It is about working with the body you have now. It is about asking, what does my body need today in this stage of life? And then giving it food, movement, and rest in harmony. Food protects the muscles. Movement awakens them, but beyond both is the deeper practice, respect for the self. Longevity is not just physical. It is also mental and spiritual. If your body is nourished, but your mind is heavy with worry, your years will feel long but empty. If your body is strong, but your spirit is restless, you will not enjoy the time you have. The path of longevity must unite body, mind, and spirit into one flow, one rhythm. There is a saying, do not add days to life. Add life to days. This means that each day is an opportunity to live fully. At 60 and beyond, this becomes more important. Time feels more precious. Every sunrise is a gift. Every walk is freedom. Every meal is medicine. Every conversation is a chance for joy. To walk the path of longevity is to notice these gifts, to appreciate them, to live with gratitude. Gratitude itself is medicine. It reduces stress, it brings peace, it strengthens the heart. Longevity is also about independence. Many fear becoming dependent on others, losing the ability to care for themselves. This fear can be eased by practice, by keeping muscles strong through nutrition. By keeping joints flexible through movement, you extend your independence. You can rise from a chair, climb stairs, carry your own weight. These may seem like simple acts, but they are the foundation of freedom, and freedom is at the heart of longevity. But longevity is not only about the body, it is about relationships. A long life lived alone, disconnected, is not fulfilling connection with family, friends, community. This nourishes the spirit, just as food nourishes the body. Sharing meals, walking together, practicing gentle exercise with others. These create bonds that add meaning to years. Longevity is not about living longer in isolation, but about living longer in connection. There is also the spiritual dimension. As the body ages, many begin to reflect more deeply on purpose, on meaning, on what lies beyond. This is natural. Longevity is not only about preserving the body, but also about preparing the spirit. Through meditation, prayer, or reflection, you align yourself with something greater than the physical. You find peace with the flow of life, peace with time itself. This spiritual strength becomes just as important as muscle strength. It gives courage to face the unknown, serenity to face change. In Shaolin philosophy, the path is always balance. Too much focus on the body, and you forget the mind. Too much focus on the mind, and you neglect the body. Longevity requires balance of both. Eat wisely, move daily, rest deeply, reflect often. Give thanks. Connect with others. These practices together create a life that is not only long, but also rich, fulfilling, and harmonious. Think of the candle. If you burn it too fast, the flame dies quickly. If you protect it too tightly, it suffocates. But if you tend it with care, keeping it steady, shielding it from wind, allowing it space to breathe, it burns long, bright, and clear. Your life is this candle. Longevity is not about forcing the flame to be endless. It is about tending to it, so that it shines fully for as long as it is meant to. One important truth: longevity is not guaranteed. Accidents happen, illnesses come. But what is guaranteed is the quality of how you live today. You may not control the length of life, but you can always influence the depths of life. By respecting your body, by feeding it well, by moving it daily, by cultivating peace in your mind, you create the best conditions for longevity. And if the years are many, they will be strong. If the years are fewer, they will still be full. So the path of longevity is simple but not easy. It asks for discipline, for awareness, for gratitude. It asks you to let go of the idea of fighting age and instead walk with it, learn from it, flow with it. Age is not your enemy. Unawareness is, resistance is, but when you accept and harmonize, you discover a vitality deeper than youth, a calm strength, a clear wisdom, a flame that burns steadily. In the end, longevity is not about how long you live, but how you live long. Each choice, each meal, each movement, each breath creates the path. And if you walk it with awareness, respect, and gratitude, then whether you live 60, 70, 80, or 90 years, each of those years will be full of life. That is the true meaning of longevity.